up 3 2008 old-style Mac Pro desktops. Alright, we just picked up the computers from this guy in Old Tappan, New Jersey. Of course, actually a really cool guy. So now we've got some extra time, we're headed into the city across the Mario Bridge. Alright, so I purchased 3 used 2003 Power Mac desktops. We're going to take a look at these, check out the specs, see if they're usable or not, and we'll see if we can upgrade them, and we'll see if they work. I think 2 of them are supposed to boot. 1 of them, I don't really know, so let's find out. Alright, so this just takes a standard 3-pin desktop power cable. No need to go worry about the Apple White special fitting cable, not an issue. Next we have standard DVI. That just plugs right in. Now, I don't know if a USB mouse and keypad are gonna work since this was built in 2003, but I don't see a PS2 spot on here, so I guess it will. Plug that keyboard in and the mouse. That should be all we need for now. Alright, so this thing did in fact boot, so let's check it out. Alright, so checking the specs out about this Mac. Got a 1.6 gigahertz PowerPC G5 processor, 768 megabytes of DDR-S RAM. Alright, so looking at the guts of this thing, I guess somehow it knows today's date, that's kind of crazy, but. So machine name, Power Mac G5. Machine model, Power Mac 7.2. CPU type, PowerPC 970. 1 core at 1.6 gigahertz. 512 kilobytes of L2 cache. 768 megabytes of RAM, an 800 megahertz bus, and we don't care about that. Check. The hard drive, what do we have for space? A 182 gigabyte mechanical disk. All right, I have no complaints about that. Let's see what we have for graphics. Have a GeForce FX 5200 NVIDIA in slot 1. Total VRAM 64 megabytes, and it's actually running my screen pretty well, which is a Asus 1920 by 1080 monitor at 60 hertz, so that's pretty cool. Alright, let's dig into these network settings and find out what the real culprit is. System preferences, built-in Ethernet, that sounds good. Manually, look at these IPs. What in the world do we have here? What in the absolute world is this? Alright, let's get that straightened out. So we probably want to be using DHCP. Let's renew that license, see if it lets me do that. I don't know what that's about. I think it's built-in modem. Oh, maybe apply now. We got an IPv6 address, but that's not very helpful. A PIPA! What in the world?
Many hours later.
And then went back, then did this again, and it gives us an actual good address. Not having too much luck with the times today. Quite interesting. So let's try and do a little troubleshooting. Pull up the terminal here. It took a little while to get that hard drive going. It took a little while to find it. And let's just see if we can do something. See if we can get a request out. And that appears to be working, so we can contact somebody, but not the New York Times. Let's try and go to, I don't know, Google. What do you think? What do you think? It appears to start, but it's just not taking it. Think we have a bad browser? Maybe a newer browser might fix this? Yo, success! Let's go to YouTube. YouTube, can we watch a video? Let's see. About halfway there in the loading bar. It supposedly has a gigabit NIC, and I have 100 megabits internet. What does this mean? I have never seen this. Supported browsers. Okay, so that is not looking too good. Please update your browser to access YouTube. I'm almost done with the update check here. Power Mac G5 uncompressor. Well, I did find something which honestly is amazing. So we'll go ahead and install that because I found it. Why not, right? Password. I think he said was 1234. We got it. You guys read that? Important. Downloading 0 bytes out of 1.6 megabytes. Oh, look at that speed. Installing. You hear that hard drive? I don't know if you guys can hear this hard drive, but this thing sounds funky. I'll have to get my nice microphone. I'll put it right on top of the thing so you can hear the sounds this thing makes. All right, it's really... All right, so I've been going through the updates, and I got to this firmware update. So this thing gives me three choices: to print this contract, to cancel it, and to shut down. So I guess we'll shut down. Enter the password, all right. Hard drive is still sounding like a champ. All right, so I allowed the update to shut down, and for some reason, when I turn this thing back on, I hit the on button, right? It starts to boot as normal, and look what happens. Look at that! What in the... What? I expect some kind of firmware CD. It didn't even ask me to burn a CD. Like, what in the world is going on with this thing? Alright, so on further examination of the firmware upgrading instructions, we can see that this thing here does not mention once anything to do with a CD. It tells you to remove any third-part RAM. I believe they mean third-party. And all it says, nothing about a CD. What are you supposed to do when it ejects the CD drive and doesn't boot? Alright, so clearly we don't have whatever CD this thing is not asking about, so we're done with this update. YouTube.com, that's it. It's taking its time. It's taking its time. Is it going to let me do it? Really taking its time. This is a lot of stuff for this RAM to hold. Still loading, and we're here. So it's quite irresponsive with the scroll. As you can see, the scroll bar is not exactly smooth use. So what should we watch on here? I have no idea. Let's just look up a funny video. Let's see if it'll even let me actually watch a video. Here's one of my all-time favorites. We will see in just a second. It might work, it might do it. Remember, this is a single core computer running on less than a gigabyte of RAM. We're talking 760 megs on a single core. I don't think it's gonna play. I can sub to this guy, but I can't play the video. So it says it's down. I don't even know if this browser even supports like modern CSS. You know, I really don't even know. How do I go to downloads? Got some music, iTunes we got. iTunes Music, George, usage of... What is this?
Perhaps one of the most interesting words in the English language today is the word...
Oh no!
A few inches later.
Verifying that this image. I'm amazed this hard drive still works. 2003. Like the sounds it's making.
This could be a win. This could be a... Yeah. This program contains an application. Well, that's what we want. We can do it, boys. We have solved the impossible Chrome install. Ready for this? That's how you install Chrome on a Mac. All right, now we are copying the program to applications. About 10 minutes remaining with this hard drive to install Chrome.
2,000 years later.
So we'll go ahead and try and run it. Well, that was a failure. You cannot use Chrome with this version of Mac OS X. Okay, fine. So you're telling me that I cannot run the beautiful RAM gobbler on a computer with 700 megs of RAM. Netscape. I have not heard of Netscape, used Netscape, ever tried Netscape in my life. We will see how awesome and epic this web browser is. All right, let's try and go to the old Google. Netscape and WSB880radio.com cannot communicate securely because they have no common encryption algorithms. Is this thing pre-RSA or whatever we use? No common encryption algorithms. What in the world? All right, clearly since this is not working, let's just send this to the ranch. Now, Chrome doesn't work, Netscape doesn't work. I think this thing needs to be scrapped. Let's fire it up. All right, this is machine number 2. Let's dig into this thing, see what we're looking at. 1.8 gigahertz PowerPC G5 processor, 1.25 gigabytes of RAM. Now this machine is crazy powerful compared to the last one. Half a gigabyte more of RAM, 2 gigahertz more in the CPU. Power Mac 9.1, different model. CPU type, Power Mac G5 3.0, 1 core at 1.0 gigahertz, a little more cache, 512 kilobytes, 1.25 gigabyte of RAM, and a slower bus speed by 200 megahertz. What the heck? That's fine. As far as hard drives go, we have a 75 gigabyte mechanical drive. Quite loud, if I may add, just like the previous one. For graphics, we're looking at a GeForce FX 5020, same as before, 64 megs of VRAM. Running my screen at 60 hertz again, just like before, does not look bad. All right, so this thing works as the other one did, so let's just turn it off. So this one I have reason to believe it doesn't actually work, so we'll find that out. Very good chance it is missing its hard drive. Oh, what in the world do we have here? That does not look too promising. The old Mac question mark files, meaning no OS. Alright, so this is like an air director piece of plastic here. It kind of just helps the air flow through the case proper. So it appears we might have a lot of dust in this system, as we can see. Quite disgusting. These are notorious dust magnets. Now let's see if we can identify the problem with this computer. Alright, so right here we are missing a component known as the hard drive.